supposed to be music playing right now. So earlier this year, my oncologist and I hired a choreographer to help us come up with a cha-cha routine. Why would I be dancing the cha-cha with my oncologist? Great question, because I wondered about that myself. It was for a fundraising campaign for the Leukemia and Lymphoma Society. The whole idea was to pair an oncologist with a patient to do a Dancing with the Stars kind of a show. And as it turned out, we were the only doctor-patient couple that ended up performing. But through that series of events, we raised $250,000 to research new treatments for blood cancers. Yes. It was a remarkable feat. Now, speaking about feet, did I mention that Marin, my oncologist, had 2 left ones? You couldn't tell from looking at her with her beautiful high-heeled shoes. The way it worked out was the choreographer would teach me the routine here in San Miguel, and I would fly to San Diego to teach it to Marin. And that first rehearsal, but Marin had a dream. She'd never danced before, and she really, really wanted to do this. So since she was instrumental in saving my life, I decided, what the heck, it's the least I could do, right? So we worked really, really hard for 3 months, and at the end, the show went up really well. It was really extraordinary. But the truly extraordinary thing for me was that I was alive, dancing with my oncologist. Because 4 years earlier, I had been diagnosed with a rare and aggressive form of lymphoma. I didn't know it at the time, and Marin thankfully didn't tell me, but I had about a 10% chance of survival. So when you get a cancer diagnosis that's serious like that, it really becomes a defining moment in your life. It feels like every step you take after that, you're always at a crossroads, and you can't afford to choose the wrong path. But I'm happy to say that this cancer adventure that I've been on has been the most empowering and enlightening experience of my life. It wasn't always that way, though. At the very beginning, I remember being confronted with a shocking realization when I asked myself a simple but very profound question. Do you want to live? And I was heartbroken when the answer came, and the answer was no. And I thought, what? How did you get to this point? What happened? What invisible decisions did you make that got you off course to this point where you feel that maybe it doesn't really matter if you're here or not? That was a huge moment for me, and I realized that this whole experience was a lot bigger than I anticipated. I knew that my immediate family and circle of friends it wasn't going to be enough support. So I decided to come out to my Facebook tribe, and what happened was incredible. I got so many hundreds of wonderful, wonderful love notes and messages, and it really made me cry. But it wasn't because they were so wonderful, because they were. It was because I thought, how could these people, many of whom are acquaintances that I barely know, how can they see something in me that I can't see right now? And how did I get to this point? So that was a critical moment, and many of the people that helped me at that moment came from this community in San Miguel. So if you're out there, I want to take this chance to say thank you, thank you, thank you for being there for me at a really critical moment. Because I thought, well, if all these people are saying I did or said something that made a positive impact in their lives, maybe they're right. I guess I better believe them. So that meant I had to take the next step. And the next step for me was, unfortunately, chemo. I was so terrified of it. I had always told myself that was the last thing I would ever do if confronted with that situation. And here I was, confronted with that very situation. Well, I did my research, and I discovered that of all the cancers you can get, if you get lymphoma, chemo works relatively well. So I didn't really have much choice. It was a challenging decision because I knew I couldn't go into it kicking and screaming. I needed to really get behind it 100%. So I thought of a way to reframe that whole experience, and I decided to call it Love Juice. I told all the nurses at the infusion center, please only refer to this as Love Juice. So here they were showing up in their little hazmat suits with helmets and gloves. Here's your Love Juice. And when they got to me, I could read all the warning signs and all the little poison symbols and stuff. But I was ready for them. I had my Love Juice stickers that I had decorated, and I put them all over the bags. And then I would put my hands on them like this. And I would infuse them with all the love and all the support I received. The next few months were really, really challenging, not only physically, but emotionally. I did a lot of soul searching, and as my hair and my eyebrows fell out, so did a lot of old beliefs that just didn't serve me any longer. I became reacquainted with an old friend of mine I hadn't seen in a long time. His name is Intuition. And I decided to make that my guiding light. I started to trust, and I learned strategies to kind of balance the conventional treatments that I had with other alternative or complementary things that I knew were helping me. It felt so good. I made some drastic changes to my diet. I immediately dropped sugar, flour, and processed foods. I incorporated a natural, organic, plant-based diet that to me made all the difference. And I reconnected with my passion for cooking delicious, beautiful things, so I barely had any energy to do anything, but cooking my meals and what my body was asking me for was really my top priority. I also took a lot of life-affirming choices that I made, which had to do with detoxing my entire environment from chemicals, being really present and living in the moment, releasing expectations, learning to say no, and for me, really crucial was learning to ask for help when I needed it. Little by little, I felt like I was coming home to myself again, like I was back on the path I was supposed to be on, and it felt so good. One day, I had a conversation with you-know-who when I was waiting to get some results from my PET scan, and I said, God, if this PET scan comes out clear, just tell me what you want me to do. I'll do it. If you're giving me the second chance, I don't want to waste my time. Just tell me what you want me to do and I'll do it. So I heard the answer, and the PET scan came out clear. And they've been clear ever since. And so I'm here right now in front of you doing what I agreed to do. To talk about my healing adventure so that other people realize that deep healing is possible even from the most dire of circumstances. You know, in the 1980s, I was studying macrobiotics and I had a wonderful mentor. His name was Herman A. Hara. He was this very short, old Japanese man. And one day he told me, everything that has a front has a back. And I was, yeah? And then he said, the bigger the front, the bigger the back. And I thought that was really rude because there was a rather large woman sitting next to me when he said that. And I didn't understand what he meant, but now I do. You see, the front of cancer is enormous. It's huge. And it's the part we all know. The loss of life, the new diagnoses, the treatments, all the fear and the terror of it. The huge money machine that's running that whole show. But the back of it, it's just as enormous. And what that is, it's the love and the miracles inherent in that experience. There are thousands of angels walking this earth disguised as complete strangers that somehow have the perfect word or the perfect action that moment can change your life. So, my greatest wish for all of us is that we remember who we are We all are here to make a difference. Each of us has something unique that only we can bring to the world. And if we don't go out there and fulfill that, then there's this void that's left, right? So we can all make a difference. I just found out a few weeks ago that, remember that fundraising event I mentioned? There was a $50,000 portfolio set aside to research the kinds of lymphoma, aggressive lymphomas that I had. And they set that portfolio aside under my name. And that was an incredible, unexpected gift. Thank you. And the other thing is, recently I had a conversation with Maren, my oncologist, who told me that because of the experiences we've shared together, she's actually changed the way she practices medicine. She says that she's much more patient-focused, and she talks to them about nutrition, which is kind of rare in the oncology world. And she tells them about other life-affirming choices they can make to better their outcomes. So, yes, we can all make a difference. We all matter. Life is a dance, so go out there. Do something that makes a difference in the world of other people. And, if I might say so, learn to cha-cha. It could really change your life.
Like the frozen moon.